has your experience been like since you were at USC, especially on a very new look team?
I would say for me, being at two other programs, it's just been a lot different. Like I said, like everybody knows, I mean, we have one guy in that locker room that went here last year, so we have like 15 new guys, and that's a lot different for me. I come from different programs that has culture already in place, and kind of just coming here, we had to kind of build a culture from the ground up, and I feel like we've done a great job. I mean, I think our team gets along in the locker room, on the court and off the court. Just we have a good collaboration with each other.
You mentioned building culture from the ground up. What type of culture are you guys trying to build?
At the end of the day, I think we're just trying to build a winning culture. I mean, and a brotherhood. I think, like Coach said before, I don't think there's no jealousy or selfishness going on in that locker room. And like these guys, I want the best for the guy sitting next to me, as well as like the success for myself. So I think that's how everybody's mindset is, and I think everybody just wants to get to the NCAA tournament and play late in March. So I think that's our goal.
St. Must mentioned that when Des was out, you were playing a lot of one at times, and at times in bigger lineups, you might play the five.
Yeah.
Obviously, there's a lot of versatility there. Was that something you sensed, like in yourself, that Moss was interested in when he was recruiting you? Do you feel like that has just kind of developed over time? Like how are you kind of stepping into that role?
I think in recruitment for me, just throughout my college career has been just up and down. I mean, a lot of coaches try to place me in a position like, oh, they might think I'm like 6'4", and then I can play the 4 man. I'm too small at the 4. And they just see me in person, and I get to showcase all my skills. Like Coach said, he didn't know I could play on ball screens and play in pick and rolls and the way I pass. But I just, whatever he gives me, I just want to be on the floor. If that's the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, I mean, I just want to be out there with those guys and just win games at the end of the day, whatever my position is, and that's all I want to do.
Do you agree with Coach's description that was a pace of a 6? And can you only imagine what 7, 8, 9, 10 feel like?
Yeah, I already knew that was a pace of a 6. Yeah, we're just tired in that just because, like you said, we only have 8 guys. So, I mean, 2 guys have to take extra reps every time. And I would say we usually go harder than like at the beginning of that, beginning of the summer, we were definitely going at like a 7, 8 when we had those guys that were injured. But, I mean, that's what we have every day, and we know what to expect every day, and we know what we're going to get out of Coach. And I mean, he wants us to have attitude and effort, and we can control that. So if we control that, I mean, have a good practice.
And for each of you, coming from your last house, how does Coach Musselman compare to your previous coaching staff as far as style?
I feel like Coach Muss is definitely more intense than I'll probably say. I played for Juwan Howard. I feel like he's like a little bit more intense than Juwan, but he's very detailed. I feel like Coach Muss, every little thing matters to him. I feel like that's the difference between like him and a lot of coaches that have coached me before.
I would say for me, like I just been talking about, like consistency. Like I said, you know what you're gonna get out of him every day, and he's gonna be the same guy. Like he can be your best friend at times, but then at times he's gonna be your biggest critic, and you just got to know that and take what he says. Take his words to like, don't take his words as like how he's saying it. Just take it as how it is. And at the end of the day, he wants best for you. So I would say just consistency is that.
Yeah. I mean, I came from a winning spot too. Things I noticed between like just winning coaches and winning places, like they set standard for you every day. And Coach noticed that we're not going to be up to that standard. As soon as practice started, he already on us. He's not going to let that happen. So that's one thing I really appreciate about him.
What have you learned so far about this team in terms of what you think your strengths may be, your strongest areas?
I think just extremely versatile, and just we have a lot of high character guys who know how to communicate with each other. And there's a lot of teams that are going to have a lot of talent, but they might not have that cohesiveness and ability to work together like we do. So I think it's going to take us a long way too.
Eric said that in building this team, he intentionally kind of tried to build a roster of guys from programs that he respected or coaches that he respected, and he didn't recruit guys from programs that he didn't respect, and that's kind of seems like it's gone a long way towards you guys being able to instantly kind of pick things up, like know even just where to be in practice, that sort of thing. Like, being in this group, in this culture, do you sense that there's a benefit to, you know, guys who have experience playing for those kinds of programs, like that you guys are kind of have been able to get up to speed quicker than you might otherwise have been?
I mean, yeah, you look at the players we have, we all came from winning programs. You know, all these coaches came from winning programs. And you know, you think about it, just winners win. So all coming together, all working together, you know, it just come out to good things.
I mean, I would say just to piggyback on what Boozer said, just kind of like in my past programs, I've seen like loose links in the chain and in the locker room and stuff, and it kind of can just sink the whole team. Just even one guy can just sink the whole team, and I just don't think we have that in our locker room this year. And I think every guy, I think we're just like every link is tight and every bond is tight. So I feel like I said earlier, everybody wants the best for each other.
What have y'all done off the court to kind of build that bond and cohesion together?
I feel like we just hang out every day and just kick it. Like we've done some team events and stuff, but like outside of that, like practice over, we just text you like, what you doing? We just hang out.
I was wondering, the sole survivor, so to speak, when you guys showed up, how did he take you under his wing, kind of show you around, show you USC, what USC's all about? Can you talk about that a little bit?
I would say for me it was a little different. I was kind of the first recruit on campus, so I think at that time we might have had 3 coaches maybe that came with them from Arkansas. So it's a little different week. They've been here for like 3 days. So coach didn't even have a house. We were all staying at the USC hotel, and kind of just when they were seeing stuff for the first time when I was seeing stuff. So it was pretty different for me, and it was actually my first visit I've ever taken. I was a COVID kid, so I've never got to take a visit even out of high school. And I committed to a school the first time out of the transfer portal for me. Just I knew where I was going. So it was my first visit, and kind of really after my visit, after seeing it, I kind of already knew where I was going to make my decision.
To answer your question too, Big Harry definitely helped a lot. Like he helped. I know when I first committed, you know, we were texting the group chat like where should we live, like things of that nature. And like Harry looked out for me and looked out for us, like where they live, where not to live. So it'd be like little stuff like that Big Harry, you know, a soul survivor, as you could say, helped with. But now he's definitely just all bought us in. He's just helping us get around. I remember I didn't know what Lil G was. He told me what Lil G was. Like it's just little stuff like that though that, you know, you appreciate the soul survivor. And that's why I love Big Harry, man. He's just so giving.
You guys call him Big Harry?
I call him Big Harry.
I just remember when I first got here, like, I don't know how, but I forgot to bring some basketball shoes, and Harry just gave me some shoes to wear. So that was pretty selfless of him. I mean, that set the tone of, like, who he is and what our team's about.
That's a great anecdote.
Is it a little interesting, like, you know, normally that's like it's like the senior guy showing the freshmen around, but it's like everyone on this team is like, you know, it's like seniors showing other seniors or upperclassmen around.
Exactly.
Is that a
We
little
all
bit
figuring it
weird?
out together.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I think we got it now though, but it definitely took a minute, at least for me, for sure.
Does the team have a favorite eating spot?
I mean, I think he said it, Lil
Lil
G.
G.
We say Lil G
Lil
every
G.
day. Right after
Lil
practice,
G.
we had Lil G with it.
They be whipping it up in there. I love Lil G. I ain't gonna lie, I love Lil G.
All right, we'll bring up the next group then for